Hey guys, it's Izzy. Great to see you. I'm here at my sticky studio because I've got a challenge. And I mean an actual challenge. You see, my friend Sean challenged me to a pancake decorating contest. And I'm only allowed to use things that people actually eat on pancakes. Yummy. All right, here we go. We got chocolate syrup, my favorite. We have normal syrup, classic. We have some Smucker's red raspberry. I like raspberry. We have some peanut butter. Oh, and to top it off, we have some sprinkles, chocolate chips, and some whipped cream. Original. All right, we got everything. Now it's time to get started. All right, here we go. The spots! We need spots! Well, guys, what do you think of my cool giraffe? I know it's not the perfect or the best, but it's mine. I still have 3 more to make. This month, we have been talking all about Joseph and his incredible story. No matter how stuck he felt, he always kept going because he knew that he could trust God. There are so many other people in the Bible who trusted God in difficult, sticky situations. In fact, there's a whole chapter in the Bible written about them. Hebrews 11 is a great chapter that talks about those heroes of faith. While I clean this mess up, how about you check out this clip about these amazing heroes of faith.
A Hall of Fame is a place that honors people that are exceptional at what they do. It exists to remind future generations of the greatness of these people from the past. Did you know that God has a Hall of Fame to remember the extraordinary people of faith who were written about in the Old Testament? And we can find that Hall of Fame in the New Testament of the Bible. Hebrews 11 tells us that faith is the confidence that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance about things we cannot see. This faith is what gave people in the old days great fame. This faith is what puts them in God's Hall of Fame. By faith, Abel gave his best to God. By faith, Enoch walked with God and was a friend of God. By faith, Noah listened to God, obeyed God, trusted God, and did what's right. It was by faith that Abraham followed God, and that even Sarah, Abraham's wife, believed that God would keep his promise. It was by faith that Isaac promised blessings for the future to his sons, Jacob and Esau. And by faith, Jacob blessed his sons and worshiped God. By faith, Joseph believed that God would guide him and see him through every troubled time. By faith, Moses looked forward to the great reward that God had in store for him and led the people of Israel out of captivity. It was by faith that Rahab was not destroyed with the people in her city who refused to obey God. And it was by faith that Joshua led the people of Israel. All of these people became famous for their faith, yet none of them received all that God had promised. For God has planned something better for us, so that only together with us would they be made perfect. So since God has given us his Hall of Fame of people who have gone before us and had great faith despite hard times, let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who makes our faith perfect, so that one day God may say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," and we may be initiated into his great Hall of Fame.
Wow, I just love hearing about all those heroes of faith. Each one of them trusted God, even though they didn't know how things would turn out. Each one of them were part of God's bigger story. Abraham didn't know what the end of the story was when he moved his whole family to the new land. You know what? Moses didn't even realize what would happen when he was leading people out of Egypt. You know what? And Joseph, He didn't even know what would happen when he was sold into slavery and taken to Egypt. See, God always has a big plan and a bigger story, and we are also part of God's big story. There may be hard things you go through where you can't see the end, but God does. Even when things are really hard and feel awful and you just want to give up, talk to God. Talk to people you trust about how you're feeling. You don't have to try to do things alone. Everyone will have different things that are hard, like losing a pet, not being able to go to your summer vacation, or maybe not being able to hang out with all of your friends. It's hard when we don't know how things will turn out in the end. But one thing to remember today is this: you can keep going because God's got it, and He knows the end of the story. Well, that's all I have got for you today. Are you ready to see the end result of my awesome pancake challenge? Here we go. It's the best. I'm proud that I kept going even when it was hard, even when it was sticky. Now the only question is, what am I going to do with all this extra pancake topping? Of course,